How did you get to own your first store? What was the very first thing that you owned that you were selling?
Okay, what it was, there was a music store for sale right in the middle of downtown Bozeman for sale. And there was a recession going on, and it was a partnership. And one of the partners wanted to bail out. So I bought half interest in this music store for $1,500. You know, I believe in paying cash and having cash, and I had a little cash saved up. But the lesson learned there is that if you have a little cash, it opens doors for you. So it's $1,500. I leveraged that $1,500 into the multi-million-dollar business that American Furniture is today.
I mean, this is a part of free enterprise and the American dream that just amazes me. Is that you were not born with a spoon in your mouth. You had to work hard to get $1,500, and with that, you kept working hard, making decisions, I'm sure making a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
And you bought your first interest in a retail venture.
Yeah, and one of the first lessons I learned, I had a partner. He was an older gentleman. And at that time, Elvis Presley was number one. This was in the 50s. When he announced a record, it sold 1 million copies. And my partner, kids would come in and say, I want to buy an Elvis Presley record. He says, we don't sell Elvis Presley records. He didn't like Elvis Presley, he didn't like rock and roll, didn't like country. So my first lesson, I said, I'm thinking, now he's running my customers off. You got to have what people want. You know, that's part of the secret to our success. I just got back from the North Carolina furniture market, and we sat with my buyers, and I said, let's buy what people want. Not what I want, not what you want, but what the public wants. And that's what you need to concentrate on. What does the public want?
So did you get the Elvis Presley records in?
I got rid of him.
Oh, really? How'd you manage that?
Well, okay.
You pipsqueak?
I had made a deal with him when I first bought half interest. I'd make a deal that for $3,000, I'd buy his half interest out. So
you were in for $1,500, so that got you half. And then the second half, you said, I'll give you $3,000
for his half.
Did you have $3,000?
No, but the trouble with business is they take money. You got to buy inventory, you got to buy equipment, you got to buy cash registers. Today you got to buy computers, you got to buy delivery trucks. So you don't have any money in business for years. I never had money for years because you put the money back in the business. So I didn't have the $3,000, and we had an agreement. So I went to the bank to borrow the $3,000. And bank says, you have a financial statement? I didn't know what a financial statement was. They didn't teach us that in Moab,
on the farm?
back in Montana, Montana State College. So we're sitting in front of the bank and we're making a financial statement. What's your assets? What's your liabilities? What's your aging on your receivables and all this stuff? I tell him, he's not going to lend me this $3,000. And I had to get rid of my partner, because we weren't getting along at all.
Right.
A lot of times partnerships don't work. So I said, by the way, I have 30 head of cattle on the ranch at home. And the story there was, our starting life was a heifer calf. Us 5 boys, there was 5 boys in the family. Our starting life, Dad gave us a heifer calf, and that was our starting life. Well, this was 8 years later. So I said, now it's 8 years later, now I got 30 head of cattle. And bankers in Montana understand that, you know.
Yeah.
So he took my 30 head of cattle as collateral
for
the $3,000 loan. After I got the money and I went back to my partner, I said, here's your $3,000, now get out. He said, I'm not going to sell. And because, lesson learned there, the agreement was drawn up by his attorney. So I went over to the attorney, and the attorney was taking his side.
Right.
You know, degrees are only good as people that sign on and stuff like that. So he wasn't.
So what'd you do?
So I went back, and it was the end of the year, and I chased the customers out and a girl out, and went and locked the door, and I took him in the back room, and I started poking him in the chest, and I said, we have an agreement.
And how old were you?
I was 25.
And how old was he?
He was about 60, probably close to
that. Takes a lot of guts.
But it's called enforcing an agreement.
And he finally relented.
He took the $3,000.
When you did that, did the Elvis records start coming in?
Oh yeah, well I ordered like crazy, and part of successfully take risks. And I remember I used to go to the distributor that distributed Elvis records, and I knew I could sell hundreds of copies right off the bat. So I'd go and I'd order hundreds of copies when he first announced it, you know, and I had them. So when they came in, I had them and I sold them. And that's part of the secret of business, having the stuff that people want when they want it.